pleasure to be casting once more as well. We got some exciting games for you today from our Shurima division. I am the Dragon Rider. I'll be your color caster for today. And our play-by-play caster, Twillis. How is it going, buddy? How are you?
Oh, it's going well, Ryder. I'm excited for another interesting Seal game.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great. Like this, for people who don't know, our Shurima division is our second highest division, so we have an elo around, I would say, high gold to platinum. Very talented individuals. They're very skilled and very knowledgeable in league, so it should be really fun to watch here. Things to note with our first game, we do have 2 subs. So let's talk about our first game here. We have Cloud 10 versus Players Reborn. Do you have any thoughts or comments on this? On what we might see from these guys here?
Well, so far, for Players Reborn, we do have, as you mentioned, a sub. We have Taco Taco taking the role for Ansem.
And then for players, for Cloud 10 there, we have, instead of the Spanish teacher, is going to be Mekit. So top lane swap and then a support swap for the other team.
Exactly. I'm expecting a nice, long, very, very skilled game between both teams. Both Cloud, I do feel as if Players Reborn will have a bit of an advantage. So far, looking at the stats for the season so far, Players Reborn have a bit of a better record, standing at 8 wins with 2 losses. Cloud 10 sitting at 2 wins with 6 losses.
So it's going to be a really fun game. I'm really excited. But without further ado, let's go quickly look over what these two teams are going to be playing with and what tools each team are going to bring to the table here. So let's go over to the pro draft here. So for the side of Cloud 10 here, we do see the Caitlyn being first pick for blue side. Very good, very strong bot laner. Even though with those nerfs, she's still very punishing, right? She has that range, she has that damage. But to immediately counter this, you see Players Reborn come in with a Kog'Maw Lulu comp here. This is like backbreaking for Cloud 10, because just Kog'Maw and a Lulu, if you can make a good support the Kog'Maw team comp, it's going to be really, really hard to deal with them. In response to this, we do see the Echo and Nautilus coming out. And then, so to see with those guys, they're just good with Caitlyn. Nautilus will do some lockdown for the bot lane, and Echo is a good flex pick. Could be put in the jungle, could be put in the mid lane. And then on top of that, we're going to see Players Reborn once again putting in some more picks for Protect the Kog'Maw. It's really going to be heavily Protect the Kog'Maw team comp. Galio is a really devastating mid laner who has a lot of map pressure. And now you have Sion that was picked up in the top lane, which also has a great amount of pressure for it as well, with that ulti coming down to roam everywhere, with a lot of CC and taunts to really protect, so Kog'Maw can do the damage that needs to be done. And then we see some traditional, just like a really good, safe top laner, Ornn, coming out against the Sion here. I like this pick, mainly because it's going to help Cloud 10 get into the late game and really be able to possibly get the shutdown onto Kog'Maw. And then the Jarvan being able to isolate the Kog'Maw, where they can do as much damage as possible and then take ahead here. Looking at these two teams just as like comps are to be said, I do like Players Reborn's draft here. I really like what they're going to be playing with, and we're going to definitely need to be watching the bot lane, because it's going to be the one that's going to dictate this game.
I have to agree with you. I really do feel like the bottom lane is going to be our most crucial lane. However, otherwise, the Ornn pick, although is very strong, I do like the Sion pick for the top lane for Players Reborn. His ability to build out in a manner in which he can really dominate the top lane, being able to just push so much pressure. And like you mentioned, with his ult, being able to get elsewhere on the map. And the Warwick pick is going to mean that we're going to be seeing potentially a lot of ganks coming off the side of Players Reborn.
Hmm. It's going to be a really good game. And so let's go quickly jump into game now and see how it all unfolds. So, getting into lane here, I don't think we're gonna see anything crazy level 1. We're probably gonna be seeing a traditional 5-point. Um, definitely for players reborn, they don't really want to put too many risks onto Kog'Maw. It's really hard to say to who's gonna have the better level 1. I think Cloud 10 come out on top on that. So just doing the 5-man is super safe.
Yeah. Players Reborn definitely don't want to take the risk. The Nautilus early hook with his root is a very strong level 1 fighting ability. And having to burn a flash to get out of a dangerous situation like that, Players Reborn don't want to be down like that when they're really trying to take control of the bottom lane early on.
We're gonna see. It looks like Jarvan here is going to be starting up onto the bottom side of the map and then going to be pathing towards the top side. So I imagine that Jarvan is looking for A, either a full clear, or B, looking for something cheesy, possibly in the mid lane, to help snowball the Echo into the mid stages of this game.
Yeah, if Cloud 10 can really take advantage elsewhere and try to get as much pressure and power on the mid lane, top lane, and in the jungle, then maybe they can sort of offset the potential danger of the Kog'Maw Lulu in the bot lane.
Now we're gonna see some. We're gonna be seeing Ornn and Sion do this a lot. Like, this top lane is a smack fest. They're gonna be whacking each other, but no one's gonna die. You know, it's just gonna be a constant whack-a-mole and bonks. They both went grasp here, so it's gonna be very quick trades. So we're gonna be watching them just bonk each other. I think Ornn has a better early levels onto the Sion, but Sion starts to have a better mid game. But I don't think we are too worried about it because Sion can just kind of he's not here to lane against Vexdragon. Taco Taco's here to lane against every other lane that isn't the Ornn.
Exactly, and in the bot lane, we do see the Nautilus Caitlyn getting the level 2, and even forcing the Kog'Maw and the Lulu to back off and miss half of a minion wave worth of XP. While in the mid lane, the Warwick came in with the Galio, getting the kill onto the Echo. That is pretty crucial. He's got to teleport back to try to make up for his lost XP and CS.
Yeah, absolutely. What we saw in the mid lane there is just the complete shutdown, and the power. People really disrespect the Galio damage. You know, he has that really strong AoE passive that can wave clear super well, and then on top of that, be able to. We do see a little
Warwick
gank in the
charging
top.
into the top lane. The Ornn is caught out all the way at the tower. The Sion played that well, knocking him up just as Warwick was coming around up through the river. Giving him no chance to retreat out.
Yeah, these junglers are definitely really high active, you know? Seeing that mid lane gank there onto the Echo, even though Galio naturally pushes up with his passive that I was trying to mention before there too. And it's a really good shutdown, really easy to gank for a Galio, and really easy to clear with a Galio. So he's a really strong mid lane, kind of like support carry in a sense. He just has so much map pressure. It's so great for getting ganks off and doing things around the map here. And this Warwick is honestly just being Mr. Worldwide, coming into the mid lane, getting that Echo pick, getting the first blood for him himself, and then going up top lane and getting the kill for the Sion there. So we're gonna see a lot, probably like more snowball-ish situations.
Exactly. We did see the Jarvan start looked like he was going to recall, stepped out in the river, and now he's been forced to run to retreat away from the Warwick and the Galio, who noticed he was on such low health. We do see Scion making his way now back to the top, having picked up his Bomby Cinder. That is a very crucial first pick on the item up there. It's gonna give him a little bit more on the wave clear, but he is down a level in comparison to the Ornn, who is yet to, besides his death, back to pick up items.
Yeah, and not too long ago as well, you did see a lot of summoners being blown bot lane in a nice trade. No kills going down to either side, but the Kog'Maw still has flash, so that's really crucial. But Lulu had to use her flash exhaust. We see Caitlyn using heal and flash, and Nautilus using ignite and flash. So if Warwick wants to gank this over extended bot laner, it would be a good time to run it in.
Charge down there, try to get it. The Nautilus took over the wall to go ahead. The Warwick going on to Caitlyn. Caitlyn's trying to get out, but they've all decided to carry after the Caitlyn. Galio even coming down there and confirming the kill. Echo's charging in, trying to trade something off, but it's a 1v4. There's no way he's going to be able to do anything. And the Nautilus, meanwhile, died over in the river trying to get out. But in the top lane, Ornn has got a completely different story, taking down the Scion. As we see the Scion death form trying to get a little bit of CS before he truly dies.
Really disrespecting the Ornn damage there. Ornn knowing the damage numbers, ulting in onto the Scion, getting the brittle stack as well, and just taking him out that way. Really smart by Vex Dragons. Ornn here really knows this champion really well.
Exactly, and that is a pretty crucial trade back, as they did lose the dragon in the bot lane due to the death of Caitlyn and Nautilus. At least this way, the top lane is in a bit of a stronger position against Taco and Players Reborn.
Yeah, I really like just talking about that dragon there. They getting that early dragon's really, really nice, and seeing the map pressure and the macro performed from Players Reborn was really clean.
Exactly. This is exactly what we were discussing in the draft. We're seeing the bot lane being such a crucial fighting point, and the Warwick making his way across the map to provide for these ganks and get map pressure for Players Reborn.
If he wanted to, he could probably get away with another gank bot side. He should know that Caitlyn's flash is still down, Nautilus' flash is still down, so if they even decide to overextend, they're going to be in big danger.
They're going after the Kog'Maw, but the flash away, and the Caitlyn goes down in the meantime, and now Nautilus is going to die once again.
Really smart by Caged here. He is really playing this map, and he's really playing Warwick really, really well, getting his players snowballing into the later stage of this game.
Exactly. The Lulu and the Warwick hiding in the tri-bush, waiting for the Nautilus and the Caitlyn to overextend and really go after the Kog'Maw was exactly what they needed to get the double kill.
Yeah, so now we're probably just going to be doing like a quick probably like reset, waiting for the next dragon, and when the next dragon comes, it's going to be really, it's going to be another big fight. We're going to be watching bot lane. You're going to see Caitlyn save her sums. You're going to see Nautilus save their sums. And we're going to see, actually, I'm not sure if, I believe the TPs from both sides should be able to come down.
And once again, we see the Ornn going all in against this Scion, getting him behind the tower with the Ornn knock-up, and Jarvan's made his way up here. As the Ornn falls to the Warwick, it's now the Jarvan who's got to get out of there, as the Warwick is hunting him and chasing him down through that jungle. The Scion death form and the Warwick is just too much for the Ornn to hold on to, as the Scion does fall to the Warwick in the river, not able to get out of there that time.
Yeah, you saw Cage just sprint up there immediately after hearing the Ornn ulti go off, knowing that Taco was getting tower dove, and he just came. Like, it was like a superhero, if you will, just coming around, and then being just that massive monster macro player that he is this game. He's just going around taking kills, and it shows in his scoreline, 3-0-3. Cage is a problem right now.
Exactly. As he's already made his way up to level 7, Jarvan is a level behind, and not to mention, most certainly a bunch of gold behind, as Warwick's already at 3 kills. He's going to start up this Rift Herald on his own. while the Scion does a little trade with the Ornn, looking like it almost got pulled down the river. In the bot lane, Jarvan's made his way down. It looks like they want to try for something here, but I just don't think the Lulu and the Kog'Maw are going to get in that position. The Nautilus is going down, getting torn to pieces by this Kog'Maw. He's really chasing after the hook and the knockup with the Lulu coming in. The Kog'Maw just can't get enough. But the Nautilus does fall to the Kog'Maw death form. The Jarvan confirming the kill onto the Lulu, not able to get out of there. We did see a lot of summoners going down the flash and ignite on Nautilus, heal and flash off Caitlyn, and Jarvan burning his flash as well.
Yeah, using all of your summoners there right before a major objective is going to be really hard to play. You saw Kog'Maw, he was doing really well, good kites, and the Lulu doing the same. And then when Jarvan came, it was an entirely different story here. And so what they thought was a winning trade at first soon turned, and Jarvan picking up the double kill, which is going to be really nice. It's going to help him get a little bit further ahead, but Cage actually coming in for a gank mid and then putting down the Herald.
Death of the Echo and the Herald being dropped mid with 5 seconds left for this dragon to spawn in. They're really looking to try to take this dragon, start getting stacks, and not give Cloud10 a chance to stop them.
Yeah, players Reborn are really just, like, as you said, suffocating them. Just coming in, doing as much damage as possible, making sure all waves are being pushed out, and making sure that that Kog'Maw is safe and feels at home.
We do see the Jarvan spear in a little bit too late. The Nautilus onto the Warwick, and the Galio ult to come down there. He's chasing after the Caitlyn. The Nautilus was caught in the middle of 3 of the players for player Reborn, and against those odds, he's definitely not getting out of there. We do see the Echo briefly make his way down just to get out of there as well. The Jarvan and the Echo and the Caitlyn all escaping out of there, but the death of the Nautilus and another dragon for players Reborn. Another cut for their death by 1,000 cut strategy.
Yeah, they really are just putting the punish down here, getting that dragon, and then on top of that, getting those kills is really, really nice for them.
Hey, they're
in a really
tower
strong
dive down here in the bottom. We see the Warwick going after this Caitlyn, the Nautilus, the Ornn coming down as well. The Ornn, Caitlyn knocking and killing out the Warwick. That's very crucial, but the Scion coming in with his Q. He's gonna die. Let's see if he's gonna be able to get after them. He does get the Nautilus in a 2v1 trade in the favor of Cloud10. A good defense against the tower dive that originally was in player Reborn's favor. The Ornn making his way down to the bot lane with the teleport was very crucial for them. That's
some limit testy stuff right there. Going in for that. I think they didn't even back after the dragon there, so they still were on a lot of money. So they're gonna go and buy items, but I think the best way to put that is that's the fastest back in the game.
Exactly. And now we see as everyone starts to try to return to the lanes, the Gallia is gonna finally back. He got out of that fight alive. Now he can start spending some of his money. And he's gonna immediately teleport right back to lane.
Let's talk about items in the top lane here, because Scion is getting a little bit of a smackening, if you will, from this Ornn, hammering it down onto him and doing as much damage as possible. Scion building items purely just to try and push out lane, so the Ornn doesn't get the ability to get to tower and doesn't get the ability to roam. If Scion can do that and get the Bombi Cinder and get the Tiamat rather, and push out the wave, he can go anywhere on this map. But Vex Dragon doing a really good job of just keeping him there, and has one of the core items already on Ornn. Next thing you know, he's just going to get that Abyssal Mask, and then he's going to be unkillable in about, I would say give him 6 minutes, and then Ornn's just never going to die again.
But as long as the Warwick can keep up what he's been doing, and we can see this Kog'Maw and Lulu keep applying pressure in the bot lane, do you really think that an unkillable Ornn can bring them back?
That's a good question. I don't think it can, but it definitely helps. It stops the bleeding. It gets people some ornaments. The more and more ornaments on the team, the more damage that you can put out. You can get a Black Cleaver onto the Jarvan, which I think he's going to be going more of the tankier build. You're going to probably be getting a death cap for the Echo. But speaking of Echo,
we got a bot. In the mid lane, we got a gank. The Warwick waiting so long in that bush, but the Echo's gonna get out of there alive, playing that very well as the Galio and the Warwick both getting stunned by the Echo.
Yeah, it was a really great gank and really good attempt there, just at punishing the Echo again, staying mid, and then the Galio being able to basically free roam and free push. And now you're going to be looking at the minimap here, and you're seeing Galio, you're seeing Warwick roam down to the bot lane where Jarvan's already located, but Echo needs to back, and so we're going to be watching a fight bot lane.
Oh, and we do see they are going in. They really want to try to get this bot lane pressure with a dragon coming up in 40 seconds. They want to try to get some sort of advantage here. Try to make some plays, but decide to head back to the mid as the Warwick is going to charge in after the Echo and get the kill. Really unfortunate there for Potato Ari. Sion, meanwhile, is going to try to take this Rift Herald. If he can get that Rift Herald, drop that before this dragon fight, or even after the dragon fight, that's even more pressure for players Reborn.
Yeah, very well said. Very true there. They do have enough time to get both. And then after getting that pick onto the Echo there, they have complete mid control. They have, the Ornn's probably going to be the only kind of saving grace probably for what's going to be happening next. But we're going to be seeing Sion take that Rift Herald topside. And now we're watching Cloud10, Brian just chip down the dragon before Players Reborn can respond here.
But Players Reborn have made their way down. The Warwick going and the Kog'Maw going right after the Caitlyn, the big damage dealer. Blue team's Cloud10's gonna get the Drake, but we have a massive team fight here as the Nautilus goes down. Ornn charging in there, trying to put up a strong defense, but he's getting whittled down. The Warwick and the Galio are just going right after him as the Jarvan and the Ornn are gonna fall. Echo's gotta run out of there. He's sprinting with the full enemy team on his heels, while Sion, uncontested in the top lane, is gonna take a second tower with the Rift Herald at his back. That's some strong pressure for the top lane now.
They've really put Cloud10 in a really hard situation here, because you see, even though Cloud10, yes, they got away with getting the dragon there, they were not able to escape though, and that was the main thing. For Players Reborn, they're not too worried about the dragon. Yeah, sure, it'd been really nice. It would have put them on soul point, but then they got 4 kills and then 2 turrets out of it. The gold itself is already extremely valuable, and then helps them helps them almost get another full set of items on this against Cloud10. So really strong, they're really powerful, and it's really hard to see what they can even do to stop and the bleeding, honestly, because Kog'Maw is just being a beast. And
the Nautilus unfortunately getting caught by the river during that retreat, dying to the Lulu Kog'Maw and the Warwick combination there. The Caitlyn escaped with a sliver of her health, barely getting out of there, while in the mid lane, Echo falls once more again to a Galio, Warwick, and a Sion dive. We see the Ornn ult and the knockup on the Galio and the Warwick, but the Sion going after the Jarvan. It's not enough to prevent his death, as now this Ornn is doing his best to try and prevent the tower take. There's nothing he can do against 3 enemy champions and a tower at 1 hit. He's gonna turn around and try to do what he can. The Galio is at a low health. We see the Warwick channeling, trying to get away. Ornn, with the Nautilus and the mini wave, now gonna force them back.
Yeah, with Ornn, he's really doing his best. He's getting level 13, but he needs to get those ornaments on his key players, and those ornaments need to be, like, they need to be strong. So we're gonna need to see the Black Cleaver come out for Jarvan, definitely for
The
sure.
Nautilus hook onto that Scion, providing the kill for the Caitlyn before he could get away behind the tower was exactly what we need to see out of Cloud10. We need to see these three-man ganks onto one champion, get these kills, get these map pressure wherever they can without giving up anything on their side.
Yeah, honestly, I would like to see these shutdown gold going over to Echo. Mainly because he's so far behind right now and doesn't have the items that he needs to be the carry to basically one-shot and assassinate a Kog'Maw. Because that's all they need to do, really, is assassinate the Kog'Maw and then be able to sustain through the juggernaut that is Taco, Caged Reaper, and Gruger there. So it's gonna be a hard fight, but there's still hope. You know, you can never count an Ornn out.
Exactly. And as you see 4 members of Cloud10 making their way up, the Kog'Maw was starting to back, realizing he's in danger. He's gonna go and hide beneath his tower as the Warwick and the Lulu make their way up, getting ready in a position in case Cloud10 decided to take that fight, but they're gonna decide to back off instead. The Scion pushing mid once again. They're gonna have to send the Jarvan and the Caitlyn over there to stop with him. But the Scion is just putting out so much damage. The Jarvan is taking a lot. And they're gonna force the Ornn and the Nautilus to come up just to get the kill on the Scion before the Galio can get in there and save him.
I really like that pick. That's a really good pick because that's less protection for Kog'Maw for this next dragon fight here. And so they should really be using that to their advantage. They need to get Echo to be reset. They need to be getting over this dragon right now in order to force a fight and force a potential another pick onto one of the main carries, Kog'Maw.
We do see the Kog'Maw, the Warwick, and the Galio. They're going after that Ornn in the bot lane. He overextended a little bit, and now he's forced to run back. He's been burned down to below half health. They're gonna now turn on it with the Nautilus, the Caitlyn, and the Echo here. The dragon spawned, and Players Reborn is gonna go for it. They're gonna try to force Cloud10 to come over here to try to stop them. As they're in a stronger position here in the pit, they're starting the dragon. The dragon is going down fast. Cloud10 doesn't get a chance to seal. The Echo went over, but it was way too late. He's got to get out of there before they can really engage that fight.
Yeah, it's really hard. Definitely, Players Reborn had that dragon for sure in the bag. So there's something we could probably definitely see. Instead of doing a pick, they didn't risk any lives, so nothing gained, but nothing lost either. For Cloud10, they probably should have just been inside lanes, pushing them out, if they know that they're going to be losing that dragon there. But it's so hard because they didn't have Scion, but then they waited a little bit too long. Scion respawned, and now he's back in the fight. So it's going to be difficult, and it's really going to be, honestly, probably nearly impossible unless this game goes 50 minutes. You know?
That was a really unfortunate Jarvan walking into his jungle trying to get some camps. Instead finding 4 members of Players Reborn and quickly falling to his death at the hands of the Lulu Polymorph, the Warwick, and the Galio and Kog'Maw. They're gonna now, with the enemy jungler down, turn on this Baron and take it down before Cloud10 can respond. The Nautilus and the Caitlyn take the tower, but they're overextended. They've got to get out of there as these members from Players Reborn make their way over here. They're gonna have to try to sneak out of this Ornn coming in, trying to open something so they can get out. But the Nautilus has been stunned by the Scion as the Galio comes in, knocking up the Warwick, going after the Ornn. They're going after the Nautilus is gonna go down to the Kog'Maw. We see the fight in the river. Ornn is trying to chase out, but the Warwick is chasing him down. Scion and Galio, they're going hard, and the Ornn will fall, but the Galio falls to the Caitlyn. They're now going to turn to this. The Echo gets the Warwick, but the Scion missing his skill shot. The Lulu being chased by the Echo, Caitlyn, and the Jarvan falling in what was a 2-for-4 trade in the favor of Cloud 10, taking
Yeah.
away 4 of those bearing bolts.
Honestly, that was really well played by Cloud 10. They really played that comp really effectively, getting the Kog'Maw kind of going back, going forward, getting the pick off, and they got all that shutdown money. So all that extra gold that was once stored up onto the Warwick, onto the Galio, onto the Kog'Maw, is now released to the public, you know? So it went to Caitlyn, went to Jarvan, went to Echo. Kind of shared evenly here. Echo should probably definitely be hopefully building a death cap for the Ornn. The ornaments are going to be the thing. They're saving grace for sure here. That was an incredible fight. Really well played by everyone. And Ornn does fall there, but it literally took almost all of the members of Players Reborn to take him down. And I think, honestly, during that fight, they focused the Ornn a little bit too hard. He's unkillable. He's unkillable. He's more of an annoyance at this rate. Like,
Exactly.
You just have to really protect the Kog'Maw and then let Kog'Maw chunk him down after he, like, gets his Bork onto Ornn.
I would much rather have seen the Warwick and the Galio instead trying to go after that Caitlyn, which was so crucial in taking the Galio and the Warwick down.
Yeah. Well, another really unlucky thing in that fight there was Warwick ulted over the wall and just missed all of the members there. So he was in an awkward spot, wasn't able to heal up with his ulti that he usually can when he engages that hard, and then immediately was bursted out of that fight.
But we do see now Players Reborn are back again. They're strong. The Warwick in the jungle, starting the fight onto the Nautilus and Jarvan. And the Caitlyn, unfortunately, falling to the rampage that is Caitlyn as she starts stacking this damage now. Players Reborn is being forced out of here. The Kog'Maw falling again to the Caitlyn. This Caitlyn is getting really good. The Scion coming in. Cloud 10's at low health. All their front liners are really low. The Ornn and the Nautilus are almost at one hit. They're backing out of there, but Players Reborn is not in a position to try to get for a kill as the Echo got the Lulu, cutting off retreat. The Galio is now most likely going to die in this river. Scion's got to run, or else it's an ace for Cloud 10 and almost uncontested map control.
That was expertly played and really great positioning from Cloud 10. I really like what they did there. I really enjoyed how they played that fight out. And more importantly, I liked how Ornn positioned himself knowing that Kog'Maw was going to be the main damage dealer, was going to be the main issue, and basically made Kog'Maw unable to join the fight, unable to do the damage that he wants to do. Oh, 1 second. He might have a steal.
Going after the fight. Blue gets it, but Blue also gets the kill onto the Warwick. What a crucial Dragon steal there, as the Scion is also gonna fall during that fight and die having dealt no damage. We're seeing Cloud 10 get back in this fight. They're turning it around. They're hitting the corner in which they are now able to take down the front line of Players Reborn safely.
Yes, now please, 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 please start building your ornaments. That Ornn needs to make the Cloud 10 super strong and needs to be able to force these team fights. And they're playing these fights so well. Please, folks, a disclaimer, just build ornaments. It'll make your life so much easier. And it makes this game, now that they have this snowball advantage, they can keep it rolling. They can keep up the momentum. And with all of these ornaments, they've almost negated the gold gap, because it's not really shown up there, but it's worth a good chunk of money just in product value alone with ornaments. And so this gold gap of 2 gold lead is virtually similar, so no team's really ahead right now.
Exactly. This is the power that is Ornn. This is why he is played as often as he is, for this late game value in these ornaments. The ability to be behind in the early game and yet still in the late game be even if not ahead through the power of these boosted items.
Mm-hmm. And let's talk a little bit about these items here. You do see the Echo building into it looks like a Zhonya's. And that's definitely going to be given over to the Echo there. But I would rather, right now, you have all this extra money, you got all this extra gold, is to buy a Death Cap. We're going to see the ornament onto the Zanyas, which is okay. But, and then for the Nautilus here, possibly even a Locket would be really nice. Or even, maybe even a Redemption for extra mana. But, besides that, Ornn is almost level 17 now, so he can give everyone ornaments.
Exactly. We do see that Cloud 10 playing extremely safe, even as they were in the enemy jungle. Player Reborn chasing them the whole way. Cloud 10 was not going to give them an opening, as now they're back in the safety of within range of their base. Players Reborn making their way to the jungle. Looks like they want to try to make something happen onto this Echo and this Ornn. The Warwick's going to go in onto the Echo. The Echo going over the wall, but the Ornn's going to follow him. The Galio ult in. The Echo is not going to be able to get out of there as it goes to the Kog'Maw. The Ornn ult not hit as he was stunned is going to fall to the Scion Kog'Maw combination. Nautilus, Caitlyn, and Jarvan have to back out. They don't have as strong as the front line without the Ornn.
What a great combination of using their ultis there. Warwick ulting over the wall onto the Echo, while Galio ulted onto his original position, knocking up the Echo, keeping him locked down. So even when Echo ulted back, you just go right back into an Galio, and really well played. You really see that that Players Reborn just have, basically they said, all right, we're done playing around, folks, and we're going to be going for the W here. We're going to be getting the Soul, we're going to be getting the Baron, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Exactly. As you see Players Reborn, they're really going to have to buckle back down. They can't underestimate the team fight capabilities of Cloud 10 anymore. They really have to be targeting the right champions. They need to focus down these damage dealers on the side of Cloud 10. The Ornn is too strong and unkillable, and by the time they've killed him, Caitlyn will have done enough damage to take down the Kog'Maw, the Scion, the Galio, even the Warwick.
It is so hard to be on Cloud 10 right now because they are in a rock and a hard place, if you will. They have to push up lanes, they have to get money on their carries, they have to build those ornaments. But at the same time, yeah, Players Reborn on Soul. They are on Soul Point. So if they get this dragon, it's going to be extremely harder to burst them down here. I would like to see Cloud 10 just give it up and get the clear up so they can withstand the whole, like, just like the push, withstand the Baron buff, and then come back another day. They're not bursty champions, so it's like they're not too worried about giving this up, but they really would rather not have a Kog'Maw with you know, a Malphite passive.
It does look like they're going to go for the fight. We see the Ornn coming in, the knock-up onto the Kog'Maw. The Scion in the front line, he's taking lots of damage, and he's going to go down as the Warwick charges in. They get the Dragon Soul, and in the back, the Jarvan goes down as he tried to go in for the back line. Players Reborn's going to chase this. They're going hard. They're going to get the Ornn. They're going to get the Nautilus. The Caitlyn and the Echo are left, but the Echo's going to fall as well. And the Caitlyn, facing the Galio and the Lu, decides to smartly back off. They've given enough losses. They've given the Soul. They can't afford to have a team wipe right now, as the Galio and the Lulu are going to push that minion wave with the help of the Baron buff right up the middle to try to take advantage of what they can to maybe get closer to that core while Cloud 10 is all in respawn.
Yeah, that was definitely a game-breaking situation here. Fighting for that dragon with knowing the buff from the Baron on the side of Players Reborn. Players Reborn are happy just because they get to keep 2 Baron buffs. They got to crack open the base, so that gives them way more opportunities. They got the Soul now, so really, honestly, just huge win on Players Reborn. And now, because Cloud 10 don't have that push that they originally had before, and I now have to worry about possibly a break-in just to get the net inhibitor opened up. If they lose one fight, it's all over. it's all over from here. Like that fight that they took was really, it's a risky play. It has a very high, like, great reward, but it's honestly, it's almost too risky to do.
Exactly. In that fight, we did see Players Reborn knew exactly where they were going to come from. They were chasing that Warwick through the same path he took to meet up with his team in the river. The Players Reborn were standing there ready. They were all set up in position to take that fight. I much rather would have seen Cloud10 try to take a different path or wait to try to steal the dragon. Instead, wasting as little as they can. As we see in the bot lane, we do see Cloud10 stacking up to go after this Scion. All members are down here, but the Scion is so beefy. He's gunning down that Caitlyn, but he can't get the kill. But it does take a lot of resources. While in the top lane and in the mid, they're going to take the inhibitor and they're going to take that tower. They're really taking pressure on this map. The Warwick is buying time by stopping the recalls. The Kog'Maw, the Galio are going to crack the inhibitor and take the tower. Sure, they lost the word for that, but now we have super minions coming down the mid lane. The Ornn knock up trying to go for the Galio and the Kog'Maw. The Ornn briefly taunted the Kog'Maw and the Lulu trying to get out there. The Kog'Maw they're going for him. They're gunning him down. The resurrection, but he's gonna go down as he's gonna come back in the middle of Cloud10. The Galio and the Lulu getting out of there.
Kog'Maw's not going to be there for that Baron. That Baron's coming up in about 55 seconds. Kog'Maw's not going to be there. This is going to be a Baron for Cloud10, for sure. Because they are in such a strong point, getting those picks that were needed. The base is opened up, so they do have to worry about that a lot. But, like I said, Ornn, never count him out. He's just getting ornaments and everything and just making the team so much stronger. You do see the locket coming out from the Nautilus there. It should, as soon as Ornn sees Nautilus, that's going to be upgraded. And now they just have to kill Kog'Maw, and then they can really force a fight, hopefully open up the base after getting this Baron. But they can't waste any time on this. They have to immediately be on it, and they have to immediately find a pick, like, right now.
Exactly. We do see Players Reborn know that this Baron is going to be crucial. They're setting up wards. They're setting up position, buying time for the Kog'Maw to make his way down. While in the bot lane, the Scion is just going to split push. He's going to force the Jarvan and the Ornn to respond to him, or else they risk losing this bot lane tower and perhaps another inhibitor.
Oh no. Ornn doesn't have TP here. Players Reborn can take this dragon and just win off of this.
Exactly, and they realize this. I think they're stacking up. They're waiting for Cloud10 to come up here. They want to try to pick a fight in which they can really get some long-term advantage. The Ornn must have realized that this is what's happening. He's not entirely sure what he wants to do, whether he wants to head for the Baron or try to stop this Scion.
Well, I mean, he's in a lose-lose situation right now. If he goes up to his team, he has to fight the 4v5, but then Sion's just going to TP. And if Sion doesn't TP, he just takes the inhibitor for free. So, really hard, like, stuck in a hard rock and a hard place again for Cloud10. Players Reborn playing this really well and playing it slow, playing out the long haul into an Ornn comp, which is really, really nice.
Oh my. Cloud10 getting there a little bit too late to do anything about the Baron. The Kog'Maw shutting down the Caitlyn. Finally, she can bleed, she can die. The Ornn made his way up, but he's immediately got to run out of there, as the Scion did make his way up there as well. Players Reborn is going to chase this. They're going to go to try to get some kills while pushing this mid lane. The Scion, Kog'Maw, and the Lulu with the Baron buff. They're really going to carry this in. The Jarvan trying to get out of there while delaying. These towers don't stand a chance, as the Scion is himself going to take down half the health. The Core's already at half health. The Echo and the Jarvan aren't enough to be able to stop this, as we see a victory for Players Reborn in a very back and forth game.
Yeah, really great performance from Players Reborn. You really see how well they play as a team and understand more like the macro plays of League of Legends here, really understanding, hey, Dragon's really important. So Cage was literally a monster in this early game, getting that early game pressure, getting those lanes really favorable there. I think there's only one lane he didn't hard win, and that was just top lane, because Vex Dragon was just it was a monster in the top lane. His laning was amazing against Taco Taco. But again, they just see you see Players Reborn playing that game out, putting them in hard positions. They have to make a choice, and when you make the wrong choice, they'll punish you. And really excellent performance by them, and really great and well-deserved victory. You don't really see a Orin lose a game when it's like a 40-minute long game. So like really well done and really well positioned. And I love the draft with the Kog'Maw, and Kog'Maw played that really, really well. I'd like to see that banned next game, because I would not want to be on the tail end of a Kog'Maw Lulu again.
Neither would I, but Cloud 10 really, as much as we can, award that victory for Players Reborn, Cloud 10 did their best. They never gave up through that game, taking the advantage they can, even having moments where they managed to turn the game back around into their favor entirely. But it was, in my opinion, that unfortunate fight for the Dragon Soul, which brought it back into Players Reborn's court, allowing them to drive it down and get the victory.
Yeah, I want to quickly even like talk about our MVP and Ace as well here. For Ace, let's talk about Cloud 10 here. See, Ornn was really just a great like early game positioner, and really great, like really stopped the bleeding a lot. But really have to give it to Caitlyn for this one. She was in a lane what was almost basically perma-ganked, and then her mid game and late game positioning was absolutely phenomenal. So I'm going to be giving it over to the Caitlyn for the Ace. As for MVP here, I got to give it to Cage, mainly because of his performance in the early game and really helping snowball his team into the later stages of this game. If it wasn't for him, I don't think they would have stood a chance in a 30+ minute game against an Ornn.
I have to agree with on both your choices. Caged Reaper was so crucial, even getting some early kills onto the Ornn himself. But elsewhere on the map provided so much. And in those team fights, it was him getting in there and starting, getting the initiating, or even getting those crucial plays to force those very crucial picks.
So when we come back, folks, we're going to be seeing these two teams face off once more. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to Game 2
of Players Reborn versus Cloud 10. In Game 1, we saw Players Reborn take that first victory in a very back-and-forth game. Players Reborn owning the early game, and Cloud 10 fighting to bring it back in the mid-game, but it was Players Reborn who got the victory. As we saw...
Yeah, I was going to say there is really well map positioning as well, and really reading their team players, really reading the game itself as the fight progressed there, which made the game so close.
Now we did see that perhaps a lot of the success can be contributed to the drafts and to their champion selection in Game 1. If you had to say there was some champions that should have been banned based on the outcome of Game 1, who do you think you would ban, Ryder?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like, I would be taking the Kog'Maw out of the picture right away. I'd be taking that one out. I'd be taking a lot of those early game pressure junglers away from Caged, because I think, honestly, Cage is going to be most likely being the one to be target banned here. Why? Because he has so much early game pressure and he likes to gank a lot. He likes to be a second laner, you know? And so you saw that in the first game. On the side of Players Reborn, though, you're going to be wanting to take away things that will go into late game scaling team comps, because Cloud10 love long pace games. They like taking things really slow. They take their time, and that's how they eat away at you. And if you aren't ready for that, that's going to be something you need to watch out for.
Exactly. So, with that being said, let's take a look at their draft and see if any of these decisions were made.
Yeah, absolutely. So, now that we're looking at our draft here, we do see that they did not ban neither Caitlyn nor Kog'Maw here. So, Players Reborn have a really safe time to pick up that bot laner. They opted out for the Ashe Lulu, and that lane's going to be really hard to play against. First picking Ashe is going to be interesting. I'm surprised it's not a Caitlyn here. I think this is more of a call to Cloud10 saying, hey, yeah, we picked Ashe, the Caitlyn counter. I dare you to pick Caitlyn. Watch what happens. Because they didn't even ban Caitlyn. That's a power move, I think, honestly. It's saying, if you pick Caitlyn, we're going to win even harder. Cloud10 responding with the Tristana pick. She's really good at taking turrets, really good into the late game, really great scaler. So, like, again, scaling up with the Nautilus with a safe pick there. Lulu basically making Nautilus useless. Malphite is a strong top laner, pretty safe, really great at team fights into the mid to late game situations there. Not so much early. He has a really hard time, building up momentum, if you will. Cloud10 picking up the Echo. Again, a flex pick, right? Can be played mid, can be played jungle. So this game, because we see the LeBlanc as well there, it's definitely going to be going into the jungle. And on top of this, when Echo was decided to be picked, they picked up the Annie, they picked up the Jarvan. Now they have something where it's just going to be a lockdown. You're sitting there, you're not moving, and we're going to DPS you comp. That's what Players Reborn wants, where they're going to want you to sit in the Jarvan timeout box and you're not moving. If Jarvan lands an ulti on literally anyone, they are stuck there for all eternity. They see this, and then they pick up the Kled, they pick up the LeBlanc, and LeBlanc into Annie. I'm not too familiar with that matchup, but it's going to be definitely more roaming. I'm going to see Cloud10 definitely be roaming a lot, I feel, especially with the Kled. It's going to be really interesting to see how they play this one out. And both teams, if I was to pick one right now without seeing anything into the future, it's so hard to say. If Cloud10 snowball, it's going to Cloud10. But if Players Reborn play the team fights correctly, Players Reborn are basically unstoppable.
I have to agree with you. With Players Reborn, if they can stack their ultimates, then we can see on the side of Cloud10, they're going to lose whoever Players Reborn decide to target if those ultimates land. The Malphite, the Annie, and the Jarvan are just going to be able to set up together But
Mm.
if Cloud 10 can dodge, bait out, and avoid the ultimates and start snowballing, as you said, and I don't think they have anything to worry about.
Yeah, very well said. And without further ado, folks, let's quickly jump into game and see what our level 1s are going to look like, because that's going to be something interesting. So, quickly discussing a level 1 interesting thing here, I kind of honestly want to see Cloud 10 look for a pick, you know? Look for just something. Because Malphite's pretty weak in that early stages there, and he doesn't really have too much to offer. Jarvan can apply like an AoE kind of buff to his team, but like can't really get any knockups. So I would like to see a Nautilus hook like a Lulu or an Ashe, and then get them to waste 1 or 2 summoners, which is going to help Unforgiven to get some ganks off.
I agree. I think that would really put Cloud 10 in a strong position for the early game. However, it looks like they're going to decide to play it safe and not risk potentially walking into a slaughter.
Mm-hmm.
The Nautilus missing out his chance to go for the early invade hook, but he should have plenty of chances in the early laning phase. We see Jarvan looks like he's deciding to start top side and to get his blue buff first.
Mm-hmm. Something players we need to watch this game is going to be Caged, and it's going to be Unforgiven. These are players of note. These are going to be the guys that we're looking on the mini-map for, mainly because they're going to be applying such early game pressure that's going to dictate the mid to late game stages of this situation here. Jarvan actually going to be pathing to the bot side, so really getting that Ashe, getting that Lulu ahead there. I don't think he's gonna go for a really hard early clear. He might just clear up all of his blue side and then immediately gank either mid and or bot. And Echo actually opting out to the opposite. Looks like he's probably just going to be doing a full clear, because I don't think he can get a good gank off onto a Malphite or onto an Annie.
Yeah, Malphite, although he is weak at level 1, he is extremely tough. Setting up the combination based on how you decide to go, and it looks like he did decide to take his W first. That's going to be a little rough to jump into.
Yeah, let's quickly talk about Malphite, because Malphite's a really fun champion in the sense that he can be built in multiple different ways and be effective in all of those ways there. If you went for a Q-Max Malphite, you're looking to poke the laner out, you're looking to do a additional damage, you're not looking for quick trades, and you see this Malphite is taking Grasp and is going W-Max. W-Max is really good, especially if you're mainly going to be just doing... Ooh.
As we see, Vex Dragging, willing to take the risk to jump that Malphite, who is at a little bit too low HP to try to respond. Vex getting the kill and getting out of there, forcing the TP back to lane. But he's most likely going to have to recall himself. Not in a good position to stay in lane against the dangerous Malphite.
Yeah, and then bot lane immediately also getting a gank from Jarvan, like I was saying earlier there. Was able to get the kill onto Sana, almost landing the kill onto Nautilus, but the little cupcake had a little anchor that pulled it away to safety. And really good for the bot lane here. Really is going to put them really far ahead. But also, we're going to need to be careful of top lane. But because he's going W-Max Malphite, he's going to have so much armor that eventually it's going to be impossible for this Kled to do anything and to even kill him. So you're going to see this Malphite roaming around, going around town, you know, just saying that he's a rock and just going to be bouldering whatever he sees. He's not looking to lane against Vex. He's not looking to win against Vex. What he's looking for is to max W and hit R on things. So as long as he sits underneath turret, I think they're pretty happy. He did get turret dove by the Kled, and Vex Dragon showing off how well he knows his Kled matchups and his Kled damage. and is able to get the kill, is able to get the first blood as well, and get out with his life, which is really, really important. So that's really going to be fun to watch. He's going to be, as much as Malphite wants to roam, I think Kled's a good choice here to do any counter roaming with him. With his ultimate is going to be really good for lockdown situations and chasing.
Exactly. Jarvan continuing to hang out around the bot lane as the dragon comes up. It looks like Players Reborn wants to try to take this first dragon right off the bat. The Nautilus out in the river. He might be caught out, but he's going to get out of there before anything dangerous can happen to him. The Jarvan deciding not to start the dragon just yet. Not feeling confident in the potential of the Echo coming down against him. He's gonna go try to get this LeBlanc, who walked and face checked that river, hopping the clone, trying to get out of there, and he's guessed correctly and gotten the kill onto Potato Ari.
That's really unfortunate. You know, really not a good spot to be in as a LeBlanc walking into an unwarded bush. When you know Jarvan's been sitting on that bottom side of the map, it's super dangerous to do things like that. I know you want to get a ward out, I know you want to apply vision, but at the same time, you're risking your life to do so.
Exactly, already at half health with an Annie who was close to being able to be in a good pushing position. I think LeBlanc would have been better off holding off, waiting for a minute, just to see if Jarvan crossed any wards.
We see the Kled gonna be going in for a turret dive here.
The Malphite putting up a strong fight, jumping back in to knock him up under the tower. He didn't even really need the Jarvan there to help him out. He's gonna get out of there with a sliver of health though.
Yeah.
Forcing
And you know
the
what?
recall.
You know what? If he did Q max there, that Malphite was dead. But because he's going W max, that additional armor helped him sustain through that entire turret dive there and was able to prevent his death and actually even get a kill. So that's going to be really helpful for him as well.
Exactly, he's even picked up his Bomby Cinders and his Boots of Speed. The Nautilus, meanwhile, is going to go in on the Lulu, landing the hook, but he's been polymorphed. The Ashe is going to try to riddle him down with arrows. He's chasing after him, but he's going to get away as his minion wave finally comes up to protect him.
Yeah, and right there, this is exactly why Lulu counters melee engage supports. Because she just does that. Like, what is Nautilus gonna do in this lane when Lulu exists, you know? Like, what can Nautilus do for his ADC to apply a pressure to be an aggressive support with a lot of armor? There's nothing. There's nothing you can do because you just get polymorphed and then just ran down by the ADC.
Exactly. The Echo in the river gonna take that Scuttle Crab. Looks like he's gonna try to get into position for a gank here on the bot lane. Trying to wait and see if the Lulu and the Ashe overcommit to a push. As the Nautilus misses his hook onto the Lulu, that might have been a good go time for the Tristana and the Echo. But we do see the Kled has decided to roam away from the top lane. The Malphite pinging it. The Annie knows what's going on, so she's gonna play it safe. Completely wasting the time of Vex Dragon, who's gonna run into the Malphite that was making his way down the river. The Malphite is in a bit of a dangerous position there without a wave or any tower defense. But nothing really comes of it.
Yeah, I don't think...
Oh, we see the Nautilus almost. The Jarvan Spear almost getting that. But the hook to get out of there, saving his life. They're now free to take this dragon as they brought 4 members down. And Cloud10 does not look like they want to commit that much to stopping the first dragon.
Yeah, first dragon going over to the side of Players Reborn is going to be really nice. Again, showing dragon control pressure is going to be really, really good. And is going to be really crucial for their victory in this game.
In the top lane, we did see the Malphite, but after a bit of a short trade, nothing really coming of it. Taco. just letting those minions auto attack him.
No
Waiting for his minion
way.
wave to get there.
Potato Ari with the big brain play, making the Annie waste her ulti on a clone. She put down the damage onto the LeBlanc, but at the same time, LeBlanc's just laughing because she's not taking any damage at all. So really fun LeBlanc interactions, you know?
Exactly. This is exactly what I was mentioning before the game. Cloud10 really needs to bait out these ultimates that are crucial for players Reborn to set up these combination and interactions between their champions. And without that Annie ult, for at least another 30, 40 seconds, that gives them a little bit more freedom to commit to a fight. And in this case, going after Caged Reaper, who's got a flash to get out of there.
Caged Reaper really putting them in the cage, if you will.
Exactly, they've been put in the timeout zone. Nautilus and LeBlanc having to sit there with their hands on their laps.
I don't think there's going to be much action from here on out. You might see a potential Jarvan gank here or there, but everyone's starting to get all the abilities to get the disengages that they want, and so what we're really going to be trying to focus on are going to be the next dragons. It's going to be the dragon fights that are going to play the story, if you will, for us. You know, they're going to tell us what's going to happen if we're going to be finding more picks, if we're going to be finding more snowbally like situations here, and those fights are going to be the game changers.
Exactly. And it looked like the Echo wanted to set up for a gank, but after a while it seems like players Reborn were onto it. Based on their pings, they had a feeling that somebody was hanging out in the river. And they decided not to walk into that trap and instead hold the wave by their tower. In the mid lane, the Echo and the Jarvan both looking like they want to try to set something up with their mid laners. The LeBlanc poke potential, getting in and out without any real exchange of damage.
See the trade actually happening topside here. It really is favorable towards Vex, but we're gonna see Jarvan counteract.
Exactly. The Malphite flash to get out of Vex's charge and stay in a position to help Caged Reaper clean up that fight. Taco feeling strong. He's gonna now back off to go buy some items.
Yeah, you see Taco, he's playing this really safe, playing this really well, and he's showing that he's gonna stay out on top of this. If this keeps happening, Kled can't do all these trades. He's doing some limit testing right now, but it's gonna come to bite him very soon once Malphite starts buying all these defensive items and then starts to just make one player on the side of Cloud10 unable to play League of Legends.
Exactly. The longer and longer the game goes on and the more armor they let the Malphite get is just gonna be another clock. Like last game, another unkillable champion. Because if the Malphite can stack enough armor and stack the right items, then in those fights he's gonna be really crucial, besides the factor of his ultimate.
Yeah, we do see the Rift Herald being spawned in the mid lane, being dropped, and getting the LeBlanc to flash away from the potential gank from Jarvan. And that's going to be a lot of money going over to the side of Annie, which is going to be really, really nice.
Exactly. We do see Nautilus, Echo, and LeBlanc coming in, stopping that Rift Herald, fully killing the tower. Annie had to use her ultimate just to get out of there. Perhaps missing an ideal timing, but it was a use of her ultimate indeed, as the dragon is now spawned. This is the second dragon. Neither team looking like they want to go for an early fight around it. They might be trying to hold off and wait for a good moment of advantage where one of the enemy players is dead. As we see the LeBlanc fall to the Annie in an exchange in the middle. As the Jarvan coming over down to the bot lane. The Nautilus hook on him, he's been knocked up. The Tristana's gonna try to go for him. He pops the cage. The Nautilus falling, but the Jarvan falls to the Tristana, who escapes with a sliver of health.
10 HP. That was 10 HP.
And that 10 HP means that Tristana lives another day.
I had to quickly click on Tristana to see that HP number. I believe it was like 13. Like it was basically 10 HP. There was like a gust of wind would have killed her.
And unfortunately, a gust of wind is not what Players Reborn had at that time. Jarvan fell behind his tower, not in a position to try to claim a trade back, and no one was in a position to even make advantage of that. As we see Players Reborn looking like they want to try to set up for this dragon now. We see the Lulu and the Ashe and the Annie all come together. They're going to clear out some wards. They are going to start this dragon while the Jarvan heads mid lane, heading down to this dragon fight. The Nautilus and the Tristana are in a position to try to stop this. The hook onto the Annie is going to start this fight. Echo charging in, Kled going in after the Ashe, who flashes away, trying to get in the Jarvan flash. He's going to escape, but the Annie not so lucky. Ashe falling to the Kled, not able to get to the safety of the tower in time. With that double kill in the hands of Cloud10, they're free to go after this dragon now.
Yeah, not say dragon, you really don't want poor Players Reborn. Because like we were talking earlier, how devastating these ults are going to be in the stages of this game, they definitely did not want to give up a 10% cooldown reduction on ultimates for Players Reborn. There's really good team fighting, and they got in a really great spot and able to enable them to get the kills, get the picks, and get the dragon. So we're going to see basically a revive of potential here.
As we see the Malphite get jumped by 4 members of Cloud9, he puts up his ultimate, bringing down the enemies to low health, but he's not able to get the kill before he falls. But the Jarvan coming up to claim the kill onto the Kled means that the top lane is going to stay relatively even between the two. Item-wise, how do you think that matchup is looking? Oh,
Goomba stomping. Sorry, I was too busy watching a Tristana and Nautilus Goomba stomp onto an Ashe.
That's just really unfortunate for Ashe.
Yeah, so what were we saying about which lane were we looking at?
Taking a look at the top lane, is they're fairly close together in CS and kill count. We see both of them starting to buy their items. How do you think that comparison's looking?
It's still the same for me. Honestly, Kled wins that matchup, but it's not more or less top lane right now in this game, in this scenario. They're not facing against each other. They're facing against the mid laners. They're facing against the bot laners because they just want to roam and they want to apply pressure on this map here. You see that Kled building that Black Cleaver is going to be really helpful for trades against Malphite, but the Tiamat being built out just so he can push up the wave. And then Malphite countering act this, getting a Bombi Cinder to stop that healing reduction from the Kled, getting that Sunfire Cape as well, doing damage that way. Is going to be applying some nice... just watching something happen in the mid lane here.
In the mid lane. We see the Annie falling to the Tristana, but the Tristana wasn't able to get out of there in time. The Lulu getting the kill. Malphite making his way down is going to get that kill onto the Nautilus. As we see, Players Reborn now in a position to push and take this mid tower. The Malphite and the Jarvan chasing after this Echo. They want to try to get another fight going while they have a player count advantage. The Kled's going to charge his way down. He's going to try to get something set up. The Jarvan's fearing to get out. The Echo is low. The Malphite and the Jarvan are trying to take down this Kled. He's been stunned. The Echo goes back in the stun onto the Jarvan. He's caught out. He's taking lots of damage. As we see the LeBlanc flashing in and out with their ability. Isn't able to get the kill in time. No kills for either side there, but both teams on low health for their front line.
It's that's exactly, I think, a prime point right there. They are not facing against in the top lane. They are facing team fights. These are two team fight teams here. You see more on Cloud 10, a little bit more of a pick comp. They want to try and just pick one person off one by one. Well, you see on the side of Players Reborn just wanting to team fight, wanting to take these objective fights as well in order to put them in an advantageous spot.
Exactly, another turret falling for the blue team. That top turret going down, that bottom turret going down. That's a lot of pressure on the side waves that Cloud 10 is now able to exert. As we see, they're staying relatively together. The Nautilus, the Tristan, and the Echo staying close as they made their way through that river. Very good protection against potential team fights that Player Reborn like to take.
Yeah, let's quickly talk about dragons. Now that we're talking about like major objectives and team fights that we're going to be looking for here, and players that we need to watch out for in team fights is going to be how many people is Malphite going to be knocking up, and at the same time, how many people is Tristana going to be able to kill before she dies? You know?
Exactly. In the mid lane, the Nautilus is getting singled out by the Ashe. His hook isn't enough to get him out of range. Barely falling. As we see the Malphite going in again. The LeBlanc clones. Is he going to get the right one? He's not. The Echo is going to take him down with the help of the Tristana. But the Kled falls to the team force of Players Reborn as the Infernal Dragon is up. They're going to start this with 2 players dead on Cloud 10. And with an Ashe and a Jarvan, they are going to really take that dragon down before anyone can say anything about it.
Yeah. The thing I wanted to know with Dragon here, it's definitely more for you want to burst him, right? So it'd be really, really nice if you could get that for the side of Cloud 10. You know, Echo, LeBlanc, really bursty champions. Kled gonna be able to lock down people. You know, Tristana, pretty bursty as well. So honestly, seeing on the side for Players Reborn, they're just taking dragons to stop, you know, from to stop Cloud 10 from having them. You know, it's better that they don't care if they have them, but it's nice, you know? It's not going to be game-changing, but it's definitely game-changing if Cloud 10 get them.
Exactly. We see Ashe now getting her second item. Having the Bork and the Runaan's Hurricane, that's going to be a good power spike for her. Already having her Berserker Greaves, she's really going to start dishing out this damage in these team fights. They're going to have to be a little bit careful of her positioning. As we've seen previously, the Nautilus getting caught out and whittled down by her arrows is not something that they want to repeat.
No, yeah, absolutely. So now we're going to be... What we need to see here is some great macro play on the side of Cloud 10, fighting the picks that they can, and then doing the damage that needs to be done. They don't want to take team fights, but they want to be able to take someone off. The hard thing about this...
really unfortunate. The Nautilus hook hitting the wall, not the Annie, pulled him right into range of both the Lulu and the Ashe. She's gonna die as the Malphite comes in. The Jarvan chasing down onto the Tristana. The Kled, is he gonna get away? As the Jarvan chases the Annie, they're gonna go in. The LeBlanc clone is gonna save her life. As she's gonna try to go back in and continue some damage on the Jarvan. He's not gonna have any of that. He's just gonna head back into the jungle. But that mid tower is certainly gonna fall to the side of Players Reborn.
Yeah, like I said, Players Reborn, once again, putting them in a hard place. They're just stuck in this spot where, like, all right, we need to find a pick, boys. Let's go find Player Reborn players. And they can't, because they're literally just being a team fight team and never having, no one on Players Reborn walks alone. And if they do, it's not for long, because they are doing their comp correctly and doing the team fights that need to be done.
Exactly. So LeBlanc falling to Annie as the rest of Players Reborn are starting this. The Malphite's up top outside of the pit, buying time, trying to hold off this. As the Tristana jumped in, they've been forced off the Baron, but the Kled is so low he's gonna fall. So is that Tristana. But the Jarvan did fall on the side of Players Reborn in effectively a 1v3 trade on the side of Players Reborn. That was pretty profitable for them, even though they weren't able to finish off the Baron.
Yeah, you know what? I think if someone roamed with Tristana onto that Malphite would have been fallen, would have lost there. But because no one was there with the Tristana, Malphite was able to ult it, get a nice E off, get a nice Q off, get a nice W off, and was able to take out Tristana, basically 100-0 them, and changing the whole fight again. So Players Reborn gonna be grouping up again, gonna be pushing out lanes, and then they're just gonna do another team fight. We're gonna see this happen a lot, and it's gonna be, I don't know of a way for Cloud10 to stop them.
Yeah, this is the Malphite, like we mentioned, is starting to stack. He's at 567 armor right now. He's taking a lot of reduced damage, and he's finishing off items. He's got his Iceborne gauntlets, and he's just picked up his Joran's Fist. He's going to be very tough for them to kill. Even this Kled is now having a lot of trouble in what was previously a fairly one-sided 1v1. The Black Cleaver isn't enough to really get him this confirmed kill, as Taco comes out in a better position for that trade. Kled below half health, and the Malphite is still free to push this wave, while the rest of the team tries to get this pick on the Nautilus. The Nautilus gets stunned and caught up. The hook missing. The Jarvan onto the LeBlanc is going to confirm that kill and force Cloud10 to back out of there as the dragon spawns.
Yeah, that's gonna be another dragon over for Players Reborn there, and it's gonna be really hard for them to do anything. They got Taco on the guard. They're gonna come up, possibly find another couple picks
the
now.
Malphite ult right into the Nautilus. The Kled, the Nautilus is gonna go down. He's chasing after this Kled, who has to flash to get out of there, as they're being chased by the entire team of Players Reborn. This Nautilus is exactly what Players Reborn needed, as they're now just, this Nautilus is just almost unkillable unless the entire team of Cloud10 focuses him down.
Let's talk about how they're gonna win this game. They're gonna take Baron. They're gonna push up lanes. And then Players Reborn are gonna take the final dragon. You know, they don't need to, but they're gonna take the final dragon. And they're just gonna push down mid to possibly just end it. So I imagine if to stop this, Cloud10 need to be able to find that short window of time where they're not grouped for a fight. They're gonna need to find an Ashe on the tail end of a fight. The Blanc's gonna have to burst them down, you know, 100-0 the Ashe, and that's how they're gonna have to change it. They're gonna have to not sit on top of each other. They can't stack because Malphite exists. So if they want to do this, they're gonna have to pull off a miracle, and they're gonna have to do this really silently and really effectively, understand positioning, and you've seen them in previous times. They like to take fights slow, so it's gonna be really interesting to see what they're gonna be doing.
It does look like they're gonna really try to pull us out. They're going hard. They're gonna try to take down the Annie, but it's not enough as the LeBlanc and the Kled fell. And now the Echo's gonna fall to that Malphite ult, knocking him up, preventing him from getting out, with Tristana running away. Cloud10 almost had that. They split away the Jarvan and the Malphite and made their move on Annie, but they just did not have enough to get her killed before the rest of Players Reborn grouped back up and saved them.
Yeah, they found that small window. They did what they could there, and it just wasn't enough damage. They don't have the damage to take out the Annie. They don't have the damage to take out the Lulu. They don't have enough damage to take out the Ashe there. They did almost grab Annie, but she had that little armor there with her E, so it's hard for her. I think if they got Ashe, she was dead, but it's just another huge win for Players Reborn, and honestly, that with the Baron, it's just going to turn into pushing up lanes, it's going to turn into getting the final dragon, and then it's going to turn into one last final team fight. Maybe even faster.
As we see a team fight, looks like it almost started there. Echo deciding it's not worth to start the team fight now. Backs out over the wall. Players Reborn staying grouped up is so strong for them. Their team comp really wants them to stay together, and Cloud10 has no counter to this. They have no way to respond to the fact that they're staying together as one big murder ball.
Yeah, that is so true. That's so true. That is one massive murder ball. And you see the 1v1 happening topside, but at that point, no way does Vex Dragon take out the Malphite's Taco. So Malphite's still having TP, Cled still having TP. They're just gonna push each other off, and then they're gonna group again. Malphite not even using his ulti. He doesn't need to. Well, he did use it right there.
He's gonna get this kill, hopefully, but the Cled popping his ult as well to get out of there, but he's at a low health. But his team is losing part of their base. Meanwhile,
Clay.
Even leading this Malphite out of there, they still lost an inhibitor.
I'm listening to like chase music right now as the Cled's running for his life with the giant mountain chasing him.
And now there is no chance for him to get out, as really unfortunate positioning, the Jarvan ensuring the flank. And he was trapped between the mountain and the spear.
Yeah, Dragon coming up in 20 seconds as well, so like, honestly, it's gonna be take Dragon, reset, group win. Maybe if Cloud10 decide to fight this, which I mean, they're gonna have to, you know? They're gonna have to do something. They have to do literally anything. So when they fight this, if they come out really far ahead, like if Players Reborn get everyone, they just win the game immediately after getting S Dragon.
Dragon went down so fast, I didn't even get a chance to make a comment about it.
Yeah, and LeBlanc.
Really unfortunate now that Nautilus missing the hook onto the wall is gonna fall to that as the Malphite is chasing that Tristana. She'll get away once again with 10 HP, but the Cled is not getting away.
Yeah, they got the minions, they got the numbers, they got the game, you know? This is gonna be GG, Players Reborn coming out on top and really playing this comp really, really well. I really like what they did here, and really good team dynamic with all of them. And great time, good games, but Players Reborn come out on top with a 2-0 victory.
Exactly. Another victory for Players Reborn, and in my opinion, they played that game amazingly. Giving up a little bit of the early game, they really started to get out there as the Malphite was just stacking armor and stacking items the entire time, becoming so crucial during a lot of those team fights.
Yeah, and honestly, I wanna give Malphite MVP for that game. Honestly, he was in a losing matchup. He played super safe. Vex Dragon did some limit testing maneuvers on him, and he just played it calmly. You know, he wasn't looking to win lane, but then he just did, and which is great. And then on top of that, because he's such a team fight oriented game changer, he can just ulti out. He had numerous ults where he hit multiple members of key members of Cloud10, making them unable to play League of Legends this game. And so I want to give it to Taco this game, not to discredit all of the great performances coming out from the Jarvan, coming out from the Annie, coming out from the Ashe and the Lulu. They all played exceptionally well, but my eyes were always watching Taco Taco run around the map, basically 1v1ing, 1v5ing, and ulting everything that he saw. So I'm going to have to give it to Taco Taco. For an ace, this one's going to be a little bit harder. I'm going to probably give it to Tristana here, mainly because she played lane really well, and she was able to keep up a pretty nice KDA 5, 4, and 0. It's not the best here, but like it was so hard to play a Tristana into not only a Malphite, but a Jarvan, an Ashe, an Annie, and a Lulu. So the impressive feature isn't that she only died 4 times in all of that and got 5 kills somehow. So really great performance by them. Also side credit coming out over to the jungler there, Echo Unforgiven, playing a really great performance walking around with the Jarvan, trying to do the best that he could, coming out with some nice ganks in the early there. But definitely Savory there on the Tristana played it really well, and I'm going to give it to them.
I have to agree with you on both counts. You know, Taco Taco, as we said, just was making his way across the map, the mountain, unstoppable as it picked up momentum. And Savory on Tristana got in, got out whenever she could, you know, getting out of there with a sliver of health, 1 hit, and the skill to do that, know exactly when you need to back out, even if it's just luck. Pulling it off numerous times throughout that game is impressive nonetheless.
Very well said there. And when we come back, folks, we're going into another Shurima match. This is going to be between Team Billy versus the Squirtle squad. So stay tuned.